Tonight on Podcast Them Down, everything still sucks. Hail Metal Nation, it is I, Tim, from U.S. American power metal band Burning Shadows. Recently vacated Graves, true zombie metal, Fade to Black Metallica tribute, dual violin folk metal band Eisenmore. And today I am joined by Mike from the aforementioned recently vacated Graves, true zombie metal, and Eisenmore. And of course, Matt, who you know very, very well because I know you've been listening to every single Star Trek rewatch and every single March Madness, which all featured Matt. He's probably, at this point, he's probably been on the show second only to me. So I don't know why you needed so much introduction.
Well, just to make it clear, I'm going to do the how do you do sign again. And I waited until you finished talking because last time I did the how do you do, you thought I was telling you to wrap it up. So, how do you do?
That was during one of the Manowar things.
It was.
Yeah. Okay. So last installment of Everything Sucks. I forgot how it started, but we just needed the official the first little push of the snowball down the cliff. And then it and then it just fed itself. So does anyone have a starting place?
Yeah, I do. And I think it's wonderful because I'm going to go one direction with it, and I know you're going to go a different direction with it. Okay.
Well, that sucks.
So I was rereading reviews for Ghost's prequel on Metal Archive.
This already sucks.
Can I leave the episode?
So I like Ghosts. I actually like Ghosts quite a bit. They're basically pop rock. Are you triggering the wham wham? There we go. But I'm reading the reviews of Prequel, and Prequel has like a fairly low review on Metal Archives, and it's like Ghost is dead. It's like the ghost that made, Opus Eponymous and Emphasis is gone. It's like, man, did you ever take this band this fucking seriously? Like, it's pop rock. Like there ain't nothing to take serious here. Like, it's a fun band. They're cool. But god damn it. How are you going to make these pitching a review as if it's some sort of existential crisis for the band just seems way overwrought for the amount of importance I put on the band. And I say that as somebody who quite enjoys them. But my goodness.
I don't like them. I've never liked them. But contrary to popular belief, I also don't hate them. I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
This gentleman, whose review is titled Zoinks, begins by saying, as trendy as it may be to hate Ghost, I absolutely understand why.
There are a few good ones in there. But it's just I can't imagine assigning that much importance. Where you're saying, oh, they fucked up. They put out such a horrible album.
I don't understand how Ghost is on Metal Archives and Body Count isn't.
Right.
Body Count is way more metal than Ghost. The only thing Ghost has going for it are the logo and the aesthetics. It's definitely not the music.
Yeah. It is a pretty fucking metal album cover, though.
Opus Eponymous was way more... You could consider it metal.
Wasn't Opus Eponymous the frontman for Gwar until he died?
Yes, that was him. I do quite like Blothar, though. I think he's a good replacement for Odorous.
Is Blothar the guy with the Roman
the antlers
helmet?
And the udders? He's got the giant antlers and he's got udders. Fucking fabulous.
That sounds utterly amazing.
Shut up. All right. Give me the best Ghost song to listen to right now.
Oh God.
And I'll listen to it offline.
I'm gonna say it's just Body and Blood. That's one of my favorites.
How about give me the most metal Ghost song?
Okay, that's gonna be different. All right, that'll take me a minute. How about Faith? Faith is fairly metal. Faith.
All right. Talk amongst yourselves while I watch this song.
Okay.
Okay.
I can it won't. Oh, I know why. YouTube sucks. That's why. I did have that on my list of things we if we needed topics. YouTube was on there. All right.
That's good segue fodder too. But first,
Okay, yeah,
Ghost.
that's metal. That's metal.
It's a good riff.
It is a good riff. But
And
I listened to
and it's
4
got-
seconds and now I'm done.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
what have you actually read the main Ghost
Nope.
entry on Metal Archives? Because it's very self-consciously like representing itself. So so let me just read you the first 2 lines. So the first line of the entry is not to be confused with short-lived Swedish hard rock band from the 80s, also named Ghost. The second sentence of the entry is the band was accepted into the Metal Archives based on Opus Eponymous. So they
like
are
that.
very self-conscious that this band doesn't actually belong in Metal Archives, which I find curious.
Meshuggah has a sorry, go ahead.
You glossed over the second half of that sentence. Swedish hard rock band from the 80s, also named Ghost, which featured Dan Swano, who mastered Shield Brother by Eisenmore. Thank you.
Oh, whoa.
Thank you.
Yep. No, so Meshuggah has a similar blurb where it's like the band was accepted into the Metal Archives based on their material up to and including Contradictions Collapse, which is their first full length in 1991.
Apparently, I can't spell Meshuggah.
Yeah, neither can I.
So, okay. There are bands that I feel like have spawned genres, but are not necessarily representative of that genre. 2 bands I can think of that have done this, though the second band may no longer be the case. But Meshuggah definitely was a heavy influence on Gent, but I really would disagree that they are Gent.
I believe you're talking about Dient.
Dient.
They're from Sweden, so it's a soft J. So it's Dient.
So, I mean, the thing about Meshuggah is that they're super rhythmic. Like they don't. Lead guitars aren't really a thing. There are solos, but for the most part, the guitars are used as like a rhythmic instrument. So, but other than that, none of the things that I associate with bands like Periphery and shit, who I don't particularly care for, I associate with Meshuggah. Like they are not the same to me.
I mean, this
Periphery
is
not
inspiring
on there.
me.
Not on
This
Metal
is
Archives.
inspiring me to join the editorial committee of Metal Archives and then create a body count entry and say body count was accepted into the Metal Archives based on the fact that it's a goddamn metal band.
The second band I can think of that I would have said helped spawn a genre but did not represent the genre was In Flames. So, you know, it depends on various factors where you consider their jump off point, where they started totally fucking just being hot garbage, right? You know, people generally like Lunar Strain, Digester Race, and then you get into Horacle Colony and Clayman. People start dropping off. You get to Reroute to Remain, and I think everybody starts dropping off. But apparently now they're like alternative rock and shit, right? Like it's just hot garbage. And the but you could very easily say that they spawned metalcore prior to what I would consider like their garbage years. So, you know, clearly In Flames is a different band, Colony and Clayman, in Colony and Clayman than they were before that. But it still felt like metal to me. I mean, it was poppier, but it was still metal. But they were a heavy influence on metalcore, and I really don't think you could have called them that at that time. So I take umbrage with the fact that there are bands that spawn genres without like encompassing the elements, like being a huge influence without encompassing the elements that make it suck. You know what I'm saying?
It's like they inspired everyone who ran with the worst part of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love this part.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Well, that fucking sucks.
Man, my music player in my car, every time In Flames comes on, it's basically Reroute to Remain and Later. And I don't know why I don't just delete everything. just delete all that.
I like how you phrase that as if the music coming onto your car was something outside of your control.
Oh no!
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
But it's a random number generator. You'd figure.
I know that, but
I have more material. Actually, do I? Oh shit! I hung on for way too long. I hung on almost as long as Sonata Arctica, trying to. Man,
that's
a
different episode. Yeah, that's what the fuck happened.
I would like to briefly touch on it, however.
There's a preview for an upcoming episode.
Yeah. It's also a callback to the metal or the music archiving episode too.
Right. Well, but I feel like people have listened to that episode.
Oh, of course.
So start at the beginning and come on the journey with us.
Yeah.
So I went the last time I saw Sonata Arctica. I believe Camelot opened, and I love Camelot. And Tim's wife was there as well.
It's the other way around. I think Camelot headlined and Sonata opened.
Thank God.
All I know is I got angry texts from my wife going, "What the fuck is this shit? I thought it was Sonata Arctica."
Tim's wife was so disgusted. How they went from like Stradivarius style power metal to this mid-tempo midlife crisis metal is beyond me. But here we are.
A few quick facts about body count. For what it's worth, on Wikipedia, they are listed as crossover thrash, rap metal, thrash metal, hardcore punk, and alternative metal. And only one of those, hardcore punk, is the only one that wouldn't be on Metal Archives.
Exactly.
I mean, if you go down to the timeline of their members, I love it. So they have a hype man, which I feel like is the easiest job ever. And
I mean,
their hype man right now is Little Ice.
I mean, I would like to call attention to their current rhythm guitarist.
Oh, I was about to get there.
Juan of the Dead.
Juan of the Dead. And their drummer is named Ill Will.
I mean,
the stage
Ill
name.
Will.
Which I think is brilliant. And then one of them is named Vincent Price.
I mean, come on. Come on.
More metal than fucking Sonata Arctica. All right.
What's more metal than the name Beastmaster V? I mean, may he rest in peace. But I mean, come on.
All right. Yeah, that fucking sucks.
There's a band called I don't know the pronunciation of this. Manes, Manes, from Norway. And I discovered them when I was looking for like weird metal. So they have an album called Under ein Bloodroud Muna. Like it's under a blood red moon, I'm guessing is what that is. And it's just fucking black metal. Then they have Philosophy. I don't know. Vilosophe. And it's kind of like metal, but with some weird. It's much softer. And then they have How the World Came to an End. I don't hate this album, but this album is clearly less metal than Body Count because there is a song that is literally French rap. So how Mains qualifies to be on Metal Archives and not Body Count?
I gotta get this album.
It is a very weird album. Like, I have no idea how to describe it. Not a clue. Yeah, if you want to hear the French rap song, it's Come to Pass.
Come to pass. Wow. And it's one review on Metal Archives is a 96%. With the appropriate title, A Masterpiece of What Exactly Is This? Huh. Yeah, this is just, it's just strange. It's very strange.
I have, totally unrelated to anything that we've been discussing, I have a thing that sucks. Did I talk about this last time? Did I talk about pit ninjas?
No.
Okay.
I want to say you have talked about them, but Matt is the show historian.
Yeah, I don't remember pit ninjas per se. I mean, I've heard you complain about pit ninjas, but I don't remember sitting in front of a microphone when it happened.
All right. So if you don't know what a pit ninja is, let me take you through a historical Mike story, I guess. Mike history.
Mike story.
Mike story. So when I was growing up, and I got into heavy metal in high school, so I was listening to like Cannibal Corpse and shit. And when I went to Cannibal Corpse shows, there were mosh pits and stuff, but metal has a very particular style of moshing. And as much as ridiculous as it may sound to say, it's like very respectful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very concerned about keeping the momentum going. And then, like, if something happens, everyone cease. Like, the whole thing stops, picks whoever fell, dusts them off, and sends them on their way to keep going, right?
And typically these go in counterclockwise circles.
Yeah, it's a circle pit.
But it depends on which hemisphere you're in.
Well, that's
right,
what I was about to ask. Is it because of the Coriolis effect? Or is it because of what side of the road you drive on?
Oh.
Like in Rio, the pit goes the other way.
Right. So we need Brazilian listeners to tell us which way your circle pit goes, and some UK and Australian listeners, just so we get a good sampling. And we can ask that guy from Kamloops.
We don't need to ask the South African listeners, though. You leave your crazy opinions to yourselves.
Yes. They have a lot of angles in their circle pits.
Oh yeah. really acute ones at that.
I don't think I understand this joke.
Well, you know what? You're a better man for it.
Anyway, in high school, a lot of my friends were scene kids, and scene kids were like
they were scene kids. Did they get arrested?
Yes, just all the time. It was a problem.
They were scene. SCENE.
Yeah, scene kids. Yeah, so, which is basically like hardcore punk fans that were interested in stupid fashion. Like you'd go to a party and everybody would be wearing a black shirt and black pants, and they'd have shoulder length, like feathered hair. Like that's how you knew you were at a scene party.
Okay.
Irrespective of gender, everybody looked the same. It's fabulous. But scene kids mostly listen to hardcore, or a lot of scene kids listen to hardcore and emo and whatnot. So I went to a lot of hardcore shows with my friends, and hardcore moshing, despite it being, I would say, not as heavy as metal, musically, hardcore moshing is fucking scary to me. I think it's terrifying because it's definitely more about like, I'm going to kick you in the face and you're going to lose a tooth, and then we'll laugh about it afterwards. It's going to be great. So I'm a wimp. I never mosh in a metal show or otherwise, but I feel much more comfortable in a metal mosh pit than I do in a hardcore mosh pit.
I really wish Doug were here, because I think he could expound on this much better than I can. But if you think about it, metal is about an organized mass movement of power, whereas hardcore is more about individual resistance to the world, right? So it makes sense. Like in a metal mosh pit, everyone's moving in the same direction. We're violent and yet coordinated. We're in the hardcore mosh pit. You're just trying to flail yourself and hopefully die.
The Mash Pit? Are you from
Mash pit?
Are you from St. Louis?
Hey there, hon.
Oh, you're from Dundalk. I'm not going to no Mash Pit.
I was down there at the sound stage and they were mashing all over the place.
We're either in a kitchen or a metal show. I'm not sure which. Right, so you know, typical hardcore moshing techniques. You got the windmill, which I guess basically looks like, I don't know, like the stereotype of like two middle school girls fighting. It's basically what it looks like.
Bart and Lisa got into a fight, right? And Bart's technique was just I'm just gonna swing my arms like this, and if you get in the way and hit, it's your own fault.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. There's also like the karate where they're just like punching the ground and the air and just kind of hoping that they come into contact with somebody. There's stomping moves where they stomp really hard down, just across the floor at a show. But these are it's a very different style. So this became a problem once you started getting these fusion genres, which are metalcore and deathcore.
Yeah.
Grindcore has always occupied an interesting space as well, but it's because there are punkier grindcore bands and then more metal grindcore bands. And I think the audience and the mosh style changes based on that. But you've got these crossover fans now that like deathcore and metalcore, and furthermore, some of those fans went on to discover bands like Obituary and like old school death metal bands. So you start getting more of the style of moshing, but there's still like a very like extreme cultural difference, and people will get in like fights at these shows when you get a bad clash. I literally saw like two guys kill a pit at Obituary in Springfield, Virginia. These two guys were doing the hardcore mosh thing, and the pit dispersed, literally stopped. And these guys were getting really mad because
that's such a beautiful way to handle those idiots.
but they were like, everybody's telling me to slow down. It's like when you want to put a speed bump in the pit. It's like, dude, the pit is literally dispersed because of you. Like, people stopped moshing. It was just those two guys running back and forth like fucking morons. Fucking pit ninjas, man. I will say that they tend to like self-isolate now. Right, like when I go to modern metal shows, you'll see that, but they tend to just kind of like be nuts off to the side, which is nice, or at least better than them trying to like punch me in the face.
No one likes being punched in the face.
No.
Here's something that sucks. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but there are too many goddamn shows. Since no one has toured for 2 years, everyone's touring now.
Oh.
And the reason it's a problem is all the prices have gone up also, for obvious reasons. As of recording, fuel prices are nuts. And then,
and as we all know,
everyone's trying to recover money.
Burning engines.
They're trying to recover money that they didn't get the last 2 years. Like all these venues are paying rent. My point is everything's more expensive. So, for example, here are the shows listed on DC Heavy Metal as of recording right now. Mayhem, Priest, Miasmatic necrosis, integrity, weed coffin, COUGH.
Oh, that's a clever name.
Malavich, Tombs, Dragon Force, Jerry Cantrell.
Dragon Force is coming?
Yes.
Oh.
Animals as leaders, Holder with cemetery piss, Heavy Temple, Anthropophagus with sloth herder.
That means a
Pegasus,
man-eater.
Kowloon, Walled City, Gate Creeper, Vastum, Dying Fetus, I Hate God, Arch Spire, Testament, Contusion, Rotting Christ, Zonga, Parkway Drive. Why is that on there? Rivers of Nihil, Amorphous, All That Remains, The Who, John 5, Veil of Maya, Deftones, Terror, Skull Shitter, Suicide Silence, Thy Art is Murder, and then Maryland Deathfest. So I am not at the end of May yet. I don't know when this is airing, but those are all the shows. And yeah, it's great that there are so many shows, but they're all expensive, and many of them are back to back to back to back, which hurts attendance at all the shows.
Right.
So,
well, you've got to look at the bright side. You know, you don't have to go to the Dying Fetus show because Dying Fetus is there.
Yeah.
So that's one you can save money on.
And also, if you go to a Dying Fetus show in Texas, they'll sue you.
Oh, wait. It's Dying Fetus and Chelsea Grin. You really save a lot of money by not having
okay. That's
Chelsea Grin.
there's
so that's one.
Yeah, so that's not even, that's probably what, 5 weeks is what all those shows were. No,
Yeah,
it's more than that. It's more than that. But still, it's less than 2 months. That's a fuck ton of shows. And every day I keep seeing more, all the summer bigger tours are getting announced now too.
Baltimore, Maryland, Chesapeake. So Parkway Drive is playing at the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena.
Oh, that's gotta be. Is that
formerly known as the UMBC Event Center?
Oh. I was gonna say, the Royal Farms Arena, or what was it before that in Baltimore? That got renamed.
First Mariner.
That's what I still call it. So, when I can remember its name. In my memory, that sucks.
Deftones and Gojira. Wow.
I got another one.
That's a hell. All right, go for it.
The YouTube algorithm. All right, so lately, all right, this isn't going to sound metal, but in fact, it's incredibly metal. There's this guy on Epicurious who's a design expert, right? And he takes gadgets. So they're usually like food type gadgets. And he evaluates them and redesigns them. So it's metal because he's so good. Like, you know, these teams of engineers have worked on these things, marketing, manufacturing. They caught the attention of the staff of this YouTube channel, and this one guy in less than 5 minutes has totally destroyed them and told people not to buy them. And fixed all their problems. It's on Epicurious. Well, so I watched a few of them back to back, right? So, you know, I probably just had it on while I was working on something else, like an upcoming Burning Shadows release. So, actually, by the time this airs, maybe it's out now. I don't know. Check stillresolve.com and burningshadows.bandcamp.com to find out if it's out yet or if it's even announced. Anyway, so YouTube's algorithm clearly said this guy fucking loves Epicurious when he's at home at this time of night. And so now anytime I get on my thing, it's just filled with that. Okay, And then there's an Australian guy who reviews headphones and earphones.
Okay.
And I happened to watch a bunch of those at a different time of day. So the YouTube algorithm goes, this is all this guy wants to fucking watch. So every suggested video is that
Oh.
in the morning. And then at night, it's only the Epicurious one. Oh, it's Dank Pods, by the way, if you're looking for a guy who's obsessed with iPods and earbuds.
Dank Pods.
No, this is like literally
Dank
iPods and other MP3 players. But yeah, so and then on top of that, you go to Amazon, you buy some obscure audio connector, right? Like banana plug to XLR or something. And then Amazon's algorithm goes, this guy fucking loves audio connectors. You bought this. Why not this? Fuck you, Amazon. Like, it's...
Yeah.
This is the breakdown of the algorithm. How about you just... It's... In machine learning, it's probably overtraining. So they got some interns working on training the algorithm, and they fucked it up. Get your shit together. If you're going to control our lives with computers, you better learn how to do it. This is why we don't have proper self-driving cars. Remember, like 10 years ago, they're like, "Oh, there's going to be self-driving Ubers everywhere." Well, that's because they can't decide between a dog, a bicycle, and a pedestrian in a car. Because,
right, and they're just
because they let some 20-year-old straight out of college train the deep learning model, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
can't kill the dog, man. He's cute. Yeah, and then that's all over. Yeah, I like, for example, I bought a new mouse recently. So I bought a mouse, Amazon. I don't need to see other mouses.
There's
I've
a
made
bunch of other
decision.
fucking mice. Oh,
Yeah, it's like,
I like it when you buy something and then it keeps suggesting you buy it.
oh yeah, you
Like,
might
I already bought it. Leave me alone. Oh, and help you. I don't know, Mike, if you have this problem, but if your kids watch something on your account, well, your recommendations are fucked for the rest of time. You can't figure out a way to filter out something that's obviously not yours. All of these services have just gotten worse and worse and worse as time goes on, and they get more cluttered. And I'm sure there's a term for it. You know, but like the Facebook's business tools, you know, like if you have a page or want to do ads or something, have gotten so confused and cluttered and unintuitive and just totally worthless. You know, it's no wonder Zuckerberg's like, I think I'm done with Facebook. I'm gonna put VR on everyone and then have them fondle each other.
I'm gonna remake Second Life. Maybe it'll work this time.
I think Second Life's biggest boost was when it was in an episode of The Office. So I don't know how you do that now.
Okay, the Metaverse. The Metaverse. When you try to figure out what the Metaverse is, like if you go into Wikipedia, it's like the Metaverse is a concept of disconnected, blah 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 blah, blah, blah. And the only thing that you can find is like Meta Horizons or whatever the fuck they have, right? Meta Horizon worlds. And this, at the moment, is basically the totality of the Metaverse, as far as I can figure. And it's just Second Life, right? Am I wrong about this? What's the difference?
I'm pretty sure that VR, I don't know what it's called, but you just go and you're in a room with other people in VR and then you fondle them. Like, I turned all of that stuff off on my Oculus. I don't need people to know that I'm failing at Beat Saber some more. Like, It's bad enough when Steam tells everyone that I'm playing Rocket League again. Leave me alone.
Dude,
no, I don't want to play with you.
Attaching social functions to everything is bizarre. Gaming is one. I almost understand gaming, but Venmo confuses the shit out of me. Like, it's like somebody, I paid rent.
How come Mike sent you $50 and he didn't send me $50? What the fuck?
Yeah.
By the way, Mike, you owe me $50.
Oh shit. But like, there are certain things I care about, and that my friends paid rent to somebody is not one of them. It is very far from something that is like on my hierarchy of important information to collate.
I think when Venmo started out, it was much more of like a niche thing, but I totally agree. As Venmo, it was kind of cute when you're like, oh wow, John got a puppy and he bought some puppy food from Bill. But now it's just dishes, pizza, dishes, rent. I'm like, fuck you guys. I don't give a shit about that. People don't even stick it up. It used to be fun because it would say like hookers, crack, different kinds of hookers. But no one's even funny on Venmo anymore.
This is just too much work.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to.
Oh, I think all. So I'm gonna say we need an old alert. I got nothing. That's the best I got.
Ugh.
All of the social media is too much work, and it all has totally destroyed my attention span, and that is one reason I never even touched TikTok. I never even installed it to see what it was about, because I know it's just gonna make a bad problem worse. And to combat it, I've tried to enjoy more long form media, books, movies,
YouTube videos.
But yeah, so YouTube and Reddit fucking constantly, like, it's still that slot machine for your brain to get something that's you're gonna like for a few minutes and then keep on doom scrolling. So anyway, I'm trying to get off of it all. But you shouldn't. You should like and subscribe to Podcast Them Down and Burning Shadows and Eyes and More and Recently Vacated Graves and Fade to Black everywhere you can. So we're always there.
And coming soon, our
Podcast Them Down
TikTok, which I will start because I actually think TikTok is great. I'm very worried they're gonna. So TikTok used to be 30 seconds, then it was a minute. Now it's like 3 minutes. They're going to turn it into 10 minutes. And what was great about TikTok was the limited time frame. But what sucks is people are obsessed with posting themselves and doing their weird ass dances and stuff. It was fun in limited form. Again, I don't think these platforms themselves suck. I think the users suck. You suck. You're the one who sucks.
You're the problem.
User. Listener, you're the problem.
Except for our twatchers. Thank you for watching
our Twitchers.
Hey, if there's is there a longer form media than Twitch?
No.
there is not.
Certainly not. But I feel like if people had some editorial restraint, if people said, you know what? I don't need to say every thought I've ever had into a camera.
Well, but Twitter, they have the limit, so you got to go straight to calling someone a Nazi, like right away.
Yeah, but there's a happy medium. I feel like
there's a happy medium between being a nice person and calling somebody a Nazi.
Like on TikTok, you can at least develop a thought and have like a cool like two-step shuffle before you call someone a Nazi, and that in itself is more entertaining than just calling everybody a Nazi.
Oh, I scrolled on Twitter the other day and I was like, oh, this is why I don't do this.
Yeah, I pretty much don't. I try not to do anything, but inevitably I'll go back to to YouTube and Reddit, and
Same.
I pledge to you that I will try just a little bit to stop. Also, Reddit sucks.
You're a man of your words. And I admire you for your convictions.
Your compliments suck.
Oh, man.
I actually downloaded an add-on, an extension for my browser that literally prevented me from going to Reddit for a while.
Wow.
It was about a year.
That sucks.
No, it was. The problem is like idle time. Like Reddit serves the purpose of just like idling.
I do have a nice. This isn't really the episode for it, but I do have a nice thing to say about Reddit. I cross-posted a couple of the March Manowar Madness episodes to the Manowar subreddit, and it got a bunch of upvotes and no comments, and that's what I like. Don't waste your time really commenting unless we ask you to. I didn't ask anyone to do that. Just listen and enjoy it, and then join our Patreon.
Yeah,
you can comment there.
So do I have to join the Patreon to get to the subscribers only chat? Because I didn't know we had one.
Well, we totally have one, and it's totally real. And yes, you do, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you do.
Shit.
You know, really, we only have to get one person to pledge. You know, how many active contributors are there to Podcast Them Down? There's probably 5, right?
Yeah, I'd say 5.
Yeah, so if we all want to retire by the time we're, let's say, 45, then we only need to get one guy to pledge $500,000 every month. Something like that.
That's not so bad.
That should work. That could work.
That's trivial.
Yeah, so we got a narrow cast to that one guy.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean,
how about Zuckerberg?
Honestly,
we love Metaverse. It's not at all a stupid idea, you idiot.
You know, the first 4 letters in the word metal are meta. So there you go.
It's actually not such a bad idea because there's a limited number of people that can actually afford to do such a thing. So there's really just kind of like a few people that you have to target. Like you can probably just Google them. Like who can
spell meta L verse without metal?
Holy shit.
Yeah, so there we go. And we can use Facebook ads to, you know, they have to be like page owners and have to make over 500,000 a year. And yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, perfect. Easy peasy.
The best way to listen to metal in your Rolls Royce. What to say to the doorman to make him know how metal you are. I like this.
Just an episode called like Elon Musk. And it's like we're talking to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
You know, Elon, come on. Like our Patreon is 500,000 a month. What's that to you?
And then
Metallica's crusade against music piracy was a very good thing, and we're very glad you did it, Mr. Ulrich.
Actually, that's a subject for Metallica.
Oh, that is a Metallica subject.
In my opinion, it turns out he was right. It does. Digital music did destroy the industry. It really did.
Yeah, it really did, actually.
That's a Metallica episode. All right. Does anything else suck, or are we going to hang it up?
I mean, lots of other things suck, but time also sucks.
Time does suck.
Yeah.
Dead air.
I mean, dead air sucks, too.
Dead air does suck. All right. Well, unless you have anything further.
Nope.
I mean,
I was going to say, shaking your head on an audio podcast sucks, Mike.
I do want to say fuck you to the audience again, and thank you for listening.
I can't top that. All right, we're out. That episode sucked. See what I did there?
Okay.
All right, we are recording. Now I hit this. Oh, fuck. No, I fucked it up. It's been too long. Hang on. Don't hit that. I say...
Yeah, I'm supposed to say tonight on Podcast I'm Down.
Right,
I'm a horrible podcaster who doesn't know my own formatics. Yeah, they hit it. Yeah.
I want you to sit in what you just said.
All right. Well, I mean, that's fine by me. I got a drink.